Alright, so like this stuff right here, guys, is like super ultimately important. Okay. Now, bear in mind on the seventh day God rested, did nothing. Okay, on the eighth day is infinite, so it's just a bunch of zeros that follow this zero. Okay? Infinitely. So these are all going to be zeros. Now, I want to talk about what happened after the third day. Okay, after Pluto, Neptune, Uranus broadcasted their light in 3 axes to create life in the form of plants. So, if you break it down, okay, and show every 5 that is created, because this is all created instantaneously, you have to remember that. So, you start from source, 1 light, 2 light, 3 light. Okay, you make the first V. When you make the first V, you make a 5. When you make a 5, you have to count for every time a 5 shows up. And wouldn't you imagine that every number that shows up with a 5 we've already seen? We've seen the 6, we've seen the 9. Okay, we've seen a 1. Like the 2 here we see when it creates a 2-dimensional plane, you know, like those numbers are created. Okay, so all of the numbers that you see here, like 2, 3, and 1, and 6, and 9, okay, they're all here. Okay. 2, 3, 6, and 9. Anyway, they're all in the 5 by 5 by 5 and the 3 by 3 by 3, you know? 3 by 3 by 3 and a 4 by 4 by 4 and a 5 by 5 by 5. So isn't that interesting that you get your backwards z-axis, you get your y-axis, and you get your x-axis. Okay? And you have to understand that this is a V. Okay, that means that this is going to be a V, and this, and this is going to be a V, because this could represent, you know, something sticking, like, now, dot line of dot is just a different type of, it's a one-dimensional line, you know, like it's a singularity line and a singularity. But you have V's, like, everywhere. I mean, here you have an L, because this one's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 1, 2, 3. Okay? So that would be an L, not a V. But you can see that the X is created last. Like, there is no actual 5 in the X, which is interesting. Because I like to talk about V's, guys. Okay? Let's talk about V's one more time. Okay, right over here. Okay. So Jews. 10th letter, 5th, 23rd, and 19th. Reduces to a bunch of 5s, 6 5s, guys. Read it backwards. It'd be 6 5s. So 5 times 6 is 30. 5 plus 6 is 11. So Jews represents 30. Or 11, and if it's 0 is equal to a 3, you know, if it's 0 is equal to a 3, because this is just a one-dimensional line from a different point of view. Okay? So if it's 0 is a 3, then this is your 33. Okay? That's what Jews represents. 3 11s, guys. 3 11s, 33, you know? Jews. This is what Jesus represents, these numbers. Okay? 5 5 5 5 5 5 5 and a 2 1. But Jesus shows us with the Jesus fingers, guys, that you need to make the V. It's kind of a thing I do with my channel, guys. I talk about needing to make a V. So what that means is that the universe of U and the universe of V are equivalent, because we know that a 0 is equivalent to a 3, because a 0 is equivalent to a 3. So you circled the interior. Okay, so that means you have a 2 and a 1 and a one line and a 1 line. So you have a 2 and a 1, so what is that? Well, it could be 2 dots and a one-dimensional line, okay? And then you can have a 1 dot and a one-dimensional line. And altogether, that makes a 5, a V or 5. So Jesus represents 8 fives, okay? 8 fives. 5 times 8 is 40, or 5 plus 8 is 13, okay? You know, like you're 53 or something, or you're 17, you know? You know? It's just different. 13th dimension, you know, man is a 13th dimensional being, guys. Because this is where we, like we literally go from an alien sitting down, like a G, to a clown that stands up with his feet, making V's, like a foot this way and a foot this way. And then this is the symmetry line, you know, the reflection. Maybe male and female. But, it's a clown face, it's a clown head, little neck and little body and stuff, and the feet. So we're literally gonna stand up, guys. We're gonna stand up, because it's a joke, we're a clown. Because it's funny, guys. Hey, your trump cards. Remember that. So, like, anyway. So what did I watch this weekend? I watched V for Vendetta a few times, guys. I didn't do anything about it, but there's V and then there's EV. V is obviously a 5 because 2 plus 2 makes 5, because you have 2 dots and 2 dots. There's a line of balance, and it creates an octahedron. 4 0th-dimensional singularities, one one-dimensional line. It's a 5, so 2 plus 2 is 5, guys. And then EV, of course, the 5th letter. Again, a 5, and then the 25th letter, Y. But unlike Jesus, who says, you need to make the V, EV is like, why make the V? So, when you do the same thing and circle the 2 and the 5, you're left with a 2, 5, 1, 1. And what happens is you get, there's your 5 right here, your V, and then your 2 is a dot and a line, and then your 1, 1 is a dot and a line. So you make an X. You make 10, so you make 2 5s. So you have a, so 5 5s, read backwards, 55. 5 times 5 is 25, or 5 plus 5 is 10. Okay? So V plus EV is the equivalent of Jews, because 25 plus 5, which is 30. 33. So the movie V for Vendetta, where you think it's not a piece of propaganda, when V and EV are together, they get shit done, and they symbolize the Jews, not Jesus, guys. Okay? She has Stockholm Syndrome, guys. She embraces her captor. Her captor says that she is without fear after she prolongs that experience in the cell that he tortures her. And then she thanks him and falls in love with him for saving her, because that was the only way. And they're trying to save all of England. It's not how you save people, guys, by blowing up Parliament. And advancing on people with guns, guys. That's pretty stupid, in fact. So, you know? Isn't it interesting? Okay, like, look. You have a 0 is equal to a 1, a 0 is equal to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 0 is equal to a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. That's a 3, a 3, a 3. So we have 3s and 6s. That's what we got. This is a 3. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 6, 6, 6. So what do we have here? We have our V's, our 5s. Okay, are going to be in 1, so threes. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then sixes, we're going to have 1, 2, 3. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay. So again, that could be like a plus. That's like a 15 or an 8, and that's an 18 or a 9. Okay. I forgot. And then we have a 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's check your 4, 4 really. So what's their totals here? When you multiply them, you're going to have a 13 and 4 is 17. 37. When you add them, you have 17 and 4 is 23. When you add them together, multiply them and add them, you know, whatever. It's like a 10 and a 5, and it's like a, 15, I guess, or a 6. Then we're 23, guys. 32, 73, you know. 7 threes, guys. 3 twos. 3 twos sounds like the third dimension, you know. Like a 2, a 2, and then in and out of the page 2. And 7 threes would be 7 threes. You know? You'd make a different shape, not like an X, not an X, Y, Z, but 7 axes of trinities, of one-dimensional lines. But yeah, this happens all at once, okay? You create life, plant life, guys. And all this happens right away, bam, instantaneously. And it fills in this whole quadrant, this whole thing here will be filled in, probably all of it, okay? It's creation. When it folds, guys, the important thing is when it folds, because we're going to Armageddon, which is 1 of 4 of 5 of 6 of 0, okay? It's a 1 by 5, okay? Like literally, it's a 1. And that's the first time we have a 1 by 5. Okay? I believe the 4 is not. I don't want to mess up. It's late. Yeah, so 1, 2, so it would be 1 of 4 of 5 of 6 of 0. And I'll do it in black, I guess. No, I'll do it in red, because it's like Eureka. It's finally a V another way. Understand that, guys? Now that's our first 1 by 5. It counts as a V. Okay? So that's like really important. I think, like, I don't know, maybe if you look at it different ways, you can maybe get some kind of bizarre synchronicity with, what's going on here. So, sorry about this, guys. It's just code, I'm just creating code. So, anyway. I hope you enjoyed that, guys. Cheers.